Good morning, swans and falcons. Here's today's maths.
So, have a go at our first part whole model. This is sort of revising what we did yesterday ahead of today's new learning. Here we've got the cube that I will call C for cube, plus the 4 counters, so we'll give that the value of 4, we know it's 4, equals 20. Now remind yourself, what do you need to do to find the value of C? Pause the video and have a go. So here we see that we've got C plus 4 equals 20. Remember, to get rid of it and to keep the balance, we need to do the same to both sides. So I need to take 4 away from this side. So I'm going to take 4 from both sides. And then I will have C equals 16. Hopefully you got something similar. Have a look at this next part whole model. So here we have the whole is 33, and then this time we have got 3 of the cubes. So we can say 3C equals 33. Pause the video and show what you need to do to find the value of C. So if we've got 3C, that's the same as 3 times C. So we need to divide both sides by 3 to get the value of C. So divided by 3 will give us C, and divide 33 by 3 will get 11. So on this occasion, C equals 11. So here is our next part whole model, and you can see we have a whole of 21, and this time we have a cube, a 1 and a cube that make the 21. Have a go at writing the equation and then showing the steps you need to take to solve the equation and find the value of 1 cube. I will call the cube C. Pause the video and have your go. Okay, so here we have C plus 1 plus C equals 21. We can actually put this together and we can actually have, then we can say it's 2C plus 1 equals 21. If I take, because I've got an addition here, if I take 1 away from both sides, I will find out what 2C is. Sorry, I've put equals and it's not equals there, is it? So 2C equals to 20 because I've subtracted the 1. And then I just need to halve this, divide by 2 to both sides to find that the C will be equal to 10. So C is equal to 10. Hopefully you got something similar. On this one, we have a bar model to show us the calculation. Write down the equation that goes with this, and then again show the steps you need to take to solve it and find the value of D. Restart the video when you're ready to go through the answer. So here, of course, we have 26 as our whole, and we know that D plus D plus 14 is equal to 26. Here we know D plus D, so we could say that is 2D to simplify it, plus 14 equals 26. To get rid of this addition here, we're of course going to have to subtract 14 from both sides. So then we would have 2D is equal to 12. So 4 from 6 gives us 2, 1 from 2 gives us 1, so we've got 12. And then we've got 2D. So this is like a multiplication, it's 2 times D. So we'll need to divide by 2 to both sides. So we will have then D on this side, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the answer will be 6. Have a look at this bar model and again find the equation that it relates to and then solve the equation to find the value of E. So you should have found that we had 3E equals 36. As we remember that 3E is like 3 times E, we will naturally need to divide by 3 on both sides to find the value of 1E. So divided by 3 gives us E this side, 36 divided by 3 will give us 12. So the solving of 1E is 12. So have a look at this next problem. We have Alex and Jack have the same number of sweets, but we can see how many Jack has, but we can't see all that Alice has. But we do know that they have the same amount of sweets. So I'd like you to form an equation to represent what you can see at the moment. Pause the video and then turn back on when you've formed your equation. So hopefully you've seen that we've got here that this person over here, Alex, has got 2 sweets plus 2 packets of sweets. So we can say that we've got 2S for the packets of sweets plus 2 is equal to, and we know it's equal to all that Jack has got, because it says here they've got the same number of sweets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack has got 10 sweets. So we know that 2S plus 2 equals 10. And hopefully you got that same equation. You might have represented it with a different letter here, but so long as you've got 2, whatever your letter representation is, plus 2 equals 10, you've got the correct equation. Now, remembering what we did yesterday, we're looking at the idea that our equal sign is a bit like our balance here. So whatever we do on one side, we have to do to the other to make this balance. So up here, we've got plus 2. So if we took the 2 sweets away from here, we've got to do the same to this side so that we still have our balance. So essentially, we then have minus 2 this side, minus 2 this side, which leaves us with, we've got rid of a 2 here by doing the minus 2, and we've got rid of 2 of the 10, so we've then got 8. We now have 2S is equal to 8. Now, of course, we recall that 2S is 2 times S. So 2 times something, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. What we'll need to do is divide this by 2 to be able to give us what S is. And remember, to keep us balanced, our balanced scale, we're dividing this by 2 by taking that off. We're going to divide what's left by 2. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dividing that by 2 will give us 4. So S will be equal to 4. Here we have 2 bar models representing different equations. As a first point, can you write down the equation that would go to each one of these? Pause the video and restart it when you've written your equations. So on our first equation over here, we know that whatever it is, the whole is equal to 15. So we can say we've got equals 15. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lots of x. So I can say 6x plus the 3 is equal to 15. So over this side I've got 18 as my whole, and I can write 18 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 3x plus 3. Remember, it doesn't matter whether I write it with my whole at the front and then my equals, or my equation with the equals and then the number I know. It doesn't matter which way round I write it. So long as I am making sure that either side of my equal sign I balance. Now let's have a go at how we solve these. And I'd like you to find me the value of x on this side and x on this side. Pause Pause the video and have a go at. Turn it back on when you think you've solved the equation. Remember to show each time what you're doing to each side of that equal sign to keep it balanced. This one, the first thing we're going to have to do, and I'll wipe out this x, I might need it a bit lower down. What we're going to do is we're going to take 3 away, because I've got plus 3 on this side. I need to take 3 away. It's the opposite of addition, isn't it? Subtraction. I'm going to take 3 from both sides. Remember, whatever I do on one side, I've got to do on the other to keep them balanced. So if I take 3 from 15, I get 12. And if I take 3 from the plus 3 this side, I will just have 6x. And remember, our next step is to find 1x. If I've got 6 lots of x, if I divide this by 6, I will find 1x. But remember, whatever I do to this side, I've got to do to this side to keep it balanced. So I've got to divide by 6 here. So 6 is into 12, go twice. So x equals 2. Over this side, it's very similar. Again, I'm going to rub this out so I can actually show my workings. I've got 3x plus 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of my plus 3 by taking away 3 from both sides. Remember, got to do it to balance. So if I take 3 from 18, I get 15. And if I take 3 from the plus 3, I will have just the 3x. As with last time, the 3x is 3 lots of x, so that's 3 times x. So I need to divide by 3 to give me x. And if I divide by 3 this side, I've got to divide by 3 here. So 15 divided by 3 gives me 5. So my x is equal to 5 on this side and 2 on this side. I hope you found those as well. That will stand you in good stead for today's lesson. Here's our part whole model, and we've got 21 as our main figure. We know we've got the multi-link cubes, which we'll call x because we don't know what their value is. So we'll call those x. And then I've got some single ones. We know the value of those is 1 each. Can you write the equation that goes with this part whole model? Pause the video while you do so and turn back on when you're done. Okay, so all my x is very untidy. So we've got here 1, 2, 3x. I have here 3x plus 3 is equal to 21. So remembering what we need to do to keep it balanced, we're going to take 3 from both sides. We're going to take 3 from both sides. So that will give me 3 from 21 is 18. Minus 3 from plus 3 will give me just the 3x on this side. If I have 3x, it's like 3 lots of x. So I need to divide by 3 to get the 1. So I'm going to give x there by dividing by 3, but I have to divide this side by 3 as well. So 18 over 3, 18 divided by 3 is going to give me 6. So it looks like x equals 6. We can put it back into the equation to see if it works. So 1, 2, 3 lots of 6, so 3 times 6 would give me 18, plus the 3 here, 18 plus 1, 2, 3 would give me the answer of 21. Okay, have a look at this puzzle. This is an old SATs question, and it's one that actually algebra can really easily help us unpick. So we've got a shop sells fruit, and Chen buys 2 apples and 3 bananas, and he pays £2.35. Megan buys 2 apples and 1 banana, and she pays £1.25. Actually, if you write down the equation for what Chen purchases and the equation for what Megan purchases, you might see that you can work out what the banana will cost. Pause the video and then turn back on and see one way we could have solved this. So here I've got Chen buying 2 apples, which I will call A, just for ease of saying. So 2A plus 3B equals £2.35. Here I've got Megan buying 2 apples plus 1 banana, which I'll actually not put 1B, I'll just put, because we've talked about this before, just the letter B, equals £1.25. If I look at these two and compare them, can you see that actually they're very similar, aren't they? What's the difference between this equation and this equation? Let's just look at A is the same, 2A and 2A. So those are the same. But here we've got 3B and here we've got 1B. So if I was to take 2A from this equation and I was to take 1B from this, I'd leave 1B from 3B, I'd have 2B left. But remember, whatever I do to one side, I've got to do the other. So I've taken these away, taken this away, but so I've got to taken all of this from all of this, I've got to take all of that from the value here. So 5 from 5 leaves me with 0, 2 from 3 leaves me with 1, 1 from 2 leaves me with 1. I've now got £1.10 for 2 bananas. 2 bananas I can divide by 2 to give me B for banana, and then I can go equals, and then I can divide this by 2, can't I? So what's that divided by 2? So 2's into 10, go 5, 2 5s are 10, 2's into £1 I know is 50 pence, so it's 55 pence. If I wasn't sure how to work that out, I could do it as a bus stop. 2's into 1 don't go, 2's into 11 go 5, carry the 1, 2's into 10 go 5. So again 55 pence. So 1 banana will cost me 55 pence. Can you see how we're working out the algebra and seeing what was different between the two equations made this so much easier? Have a go at the worksheet and see how you get on. Please remember to let us know if you find any of the questions difficult or if we can give you any more help. Put your messages on the blog or to email your teacher.